Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League. We're back from our holiday break. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, or whatever you happen to celebrate. I hope it was great. I know mine was. And we are back in the Nemesis Gaming League, ready to get back into this Rocket League action. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth, ready to bring it to you, and I'm joined here by Gallium tonight. We are going through the player of the week from week 5, which is what we played before we went into break. But Gallium, how you doing tonight, man?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. Just right back into the swing of things after this felt really long Christmas break. So glad everybody hope everybody had a great Christmas, and I'm ready to get things back swinging, Psycho.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, in the in that mindset, let's go ahead and get things swinging. Let's get into this. We got a couple of week 5. I guess technically we can start in the provisional league. They're on week 3 technically because their first 2 weeks were what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a blank. Not bye weeks, but they were preseason weeks.
Yeah.
So they're technically in week 3. But we've got a couple of honorable mentions to go through here. We've got let's see here. Crispy Waves came pretty close to getting player of the week with 357 average score, 1.67 saves. So that was pretty good. Smiler TJE, pretty close up there, 330 average score, 1.22 saves, 1 goal per game. But neither of those guys were good enough to take away the crown. Gallium, who took it in provisional?
In provisional, the man, the myth, the legend, Bradish took home player of the week for week 5, technically week 3. And this Bradish kid, he made All-Star. So he is an All-Star officially, and a very notable name in the provisional league, a name that I think most people know in provisional. He had averaged a score of 352.75 with a 1.13 goals per game. So he was definitely putting the ball in the back of the net, Psycho, and a very good player, earning the provisional player of the week.
Well, congratulations to Bradish. Moving on to the Novice League, couple of honorable mentions from there. My man K-Man from my team, he got pretty close with 421 average score, 1.29 goals per game, and 1.57 goals per game. Dorfin looks like from Aurora is up there with 441 average score and 1.17 saves per game. Septune is another shout out with 452 0.86 score, 2.43 saves per game, and just under 1 goal per game. Septune, that was a big week, but he was beat out. Gallium, who is the man of the hour in Novice?
The man of the hour in Novice is a name that most people recognize when you hear Novice. It's going to be Dre. Dre, the absolute legend, coming in with 414 score per game, with a 1.15 goals per game and 0.83 assists per game. He is a mechanical beast, and he is going to go out on the pitch and put on a show. So whenever the Kiwis are playing, I think you should turn on the TV and watch some Nemesis.
Yes, sir. The Kiwis have been killing it this season for sure. Moving up, we're going to head into the Challenger League. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Into the Prospect League, where a couple of shout outs from there. MP running big 11 with a 440 average score and a 1.9 saves. Dr. Waffles is a shout out. Mitso 2 Wash came in real close, but there was only one winner. Who was that?
And this one winner is a man I know personally, and a man who is definitely deserving of it. He's been on the come up in Prospect League, and I expect big things from him in the future. It's going to be Turbo. Turbo, the legend, 386 score per game with a 1.36 goals per game and 0.42 assists per game with a 1.08 saves per game. He is an absolute beast out on the pitch, and one of my favorite players in the Prospect League right now, Psycho.
Yes, sir. He is actually killing it, and he's over in the Gladiators. I was still over there when he came in, and I could tell he was going to do big things, and he is showing off, getting that player of the week. Congratulations to Turbo. Moving up now into the Challenger League, get a couple of shout outs from there. We got Jeffrey up in the mix. I'm Jex. It looks like TDS Richard. I'm not sure who that is. Freezy and Azriel, all some shout outs for people who were in the running for player of the week, but that's only going to go to one person.
This one person, Psycho, it's going to be SpongeBob G. Goober, and a great player who I actually just learned about recently in that Challenger League, and he is popping off 585 score per game with 2.33 goals per game, 1.78 assists per game, with 1.33 saves per game. Absolute loot. I mean, he is just crazy. But these stats, I mean, these stats are out of this world, Psycho.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I don't recognize SpongeBob G. Goober, so I think he might be fairly new around here in Nemesis. If you're not, my bad, I just haven't noticed your name, but you are popping right now, sir. Congratulations on getting that player of the week. Moving on into the rival league, we've got a bunch of names up here that I recognize, people who are just putting in a lot of work, who've always been known for putting in a lot of work on the pitch. Flip 1010 from the Knights. That's a big shout out. Isaac, everybody knows and loves Isaac Just. Big shout out. He almost got it this week. He was really close. 2 money from Bearcats, Gamer Gabe. All these guys put up a lot of numbers, put up a lot of stats, but they did not beat out the man, the myth, the legend. Who was it, Gallium?
It was Pharaoh this week, and representing the Sub-Zero org very well. 406 score per game with a 1.12 goals per game, 0.64 assists per game, and a 1.33 saves per game. Pharaoh is a name well known in Rival League as he's been popping off as recently, and he's an incredible player out there, Psycho, and I'm excited to see more from him in the Rival League.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I mean, Pharaoh has pretty much made waves in Nemesis since he showed up here, and he hasn't really shown signs of slowing down. He always pops off every season. He has great seasons. But hey, he earned it. Congratulations, Pharaoh, on that. I don't even know how many he has now, but that's got to be like his 4th or his 5th easily. But
Yeah.
anyways, moving up to the Titan League, our last set of players of the week from week 5. Again, this is from the last week that we played before we went to that 3-week break. It was a really long break, but
yeah,
couple of shout outs here. Looks like we got Arrow coming in hot, almost getting it. Mitch, no, I'm sorry, not Mitch. Mitch did put up some good numbers, but he didn't play enough matches. Burr with some big numbers. Insanity coming in hot, but none of these guys. And then, I'm going to leave this guy out. Your QRZ, I'm not sure who that is. Looks like he plays for Inferno. Put up some really big numbers this week. But
it's Yerkers. It's hard to pronounce. Yeah.
Okay. But still, none of these guys were able to beat the one who took it away.
And this one is going to be Rec, an absolutely incredible player up in the Titan League, and he plays for the Bananas. And Rec is going to take it home with 427 points per score per game, 1.10 goals per game, 0.38 assists per game, and 1.9 saves per game. Congratulations, Rec. Very well deserved this week. And honestly, Titan League has been popping recently. So, Rec, you definitely deserved it this week because Titan League I've seen a bunch of their clips in the Clips channel. It's been a good week for Titan League. So, yeah, congrats for making it this week, Rec.
Yeah, congrats out to all the players of the week. Some really, really tight races, it looked like, and some people just putting in work. So, happy to see it. Congratulations to everybody that was able to pull that down. And we just had somebody join the booth with us. I guess we did not have anybody join the booth with. Oh, we did. Okay. We are going. That's going to wrap up our player of the week. Sorry about that, folks. That's going to wrap up our player of the week, and we are going to get quite shortly into our first match of the night. We got 3 matches for you lined up tonight. We're starting off in the Challenger League. We've got the Bishops 6-4 going up against the Flame, also 6-4. So this is a big matchup between these guys as we are getting into the second half of our season. Actually, I think we only got about 4 weeks left before we hit the playoffs. So it's getting down to crunch time, Gallium.
It is crunch time indeed. And this is such a huge matchup coming in for both of these teams, who I believe both of them won right before break. So we'll see if that momentum carries over, even though they had that long break. We'll see if their mentals are in the same spot that they were. And I'm just so excited for this game. I will definitely be watching this, cheering on my Firestorm brethren. But I'm also such a huge fan of the Bishops team. I was a fan of them last year and their playoff run, and I expect big things of them.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty hot game for sure. I appreciate you joining me here in the booth, going through this POW or PO Player of the Week with me, Gallium.
Hey, any time, Psycho. It's always a pleasure casting with you.
Most definitely. Well, you have yourself a good night, sir, because me and Mr. Seabiscuit here are going to get into our first matchup tonight. But again, I really appreciate you coming out, and I will see you around the Discord, bud.
All right. See you.
Okay.
And Mr. Seabiscuit, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me up here in the booth tonight for this challenger matchup. This is a team, or not a team, but cut from your cloth, yes?
I am actually rival currently.
Oh my god, dude! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Season, you're correct. I
Next
believe
season.
as it sits right now, you're correct for next season.
And I always get confused. Once you're a prospect, everybody's so high above me that I'm like, okay, whatever. Y'all are just Titans, anyways.
You're all just way better. I get it.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about all Titan players. I'm like, yeah, they're just better.
I feel that. I feel that. All right, so Flame versus Bishops. How much do you know about these teams, if anything?
I know historically, I'm not sure on the current stature, but I know historically, Bishops usually put together a really solid roster every season, in and out. Back to my days playing at the challenger level, and then with them sporting players like Fort, I think it's pronounced Fort, who was highly coveted in the draft for a middle MMR player with a high upside. I think the Bishops team always just come out solid. I don't know what their current record is because I'm a horrible researcher and I apologize. And then on the Flame roster, right? I'm gonna be honest. Don't know a lot of people on that roster. First glance. So I don't know if I can give too much insight. First glance on those players.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I don't recognize It's Freezy, but I do recognize Dolphin Puck. Man's been in the Nemesis League for at least a couple of seasons, if not, he's been here for a little while. And then Shorts 2 IQ, who actually there was a little bit of controversy over in the beginning of the season. He was down in the Prospect League and he was just pooping on everybody. So there were some things that happened. He ended up getting moved up to Challenger. It was able to keep a roster spot on Flame, and I mean I've heard that he's been doing pretty good in Challenger. So
It should be exciting to see. I mean, looking at the power rankings for this week, I think that's a good barometer for when you don't know a lot. Because those guys do phenomenal work over there as an ex-power ranker. I won't bash them. But Bishop's sitting at 4, jumping from 8, I believe, and Flames dropping from 5 to 6 from the last week before break, meaning both these teams, probably assuming Bishops won their last game before break, Flame coming off a loss, they had, the last 3 weeks to really sit on that and ideally improve, put in some games, some time, looking to be hungry. When you go into a break on a loss, I assume, I could be wrong, and I'm going to look stupid if I am, but if you do, you can get really hungry and work really hard, and next thing you know, be way better. 3 weeks is a long time, especially like some of these lower leagues. I know Challenger isn't that low, but when you take a break that long, players improve a lot over those 3 weeks. It's really interesting to see this winter season we're doing on how much people can improve in this extended break we get every year we come around Christmas time.
yeah, and last season, season 7, we had that big break in the middle of it because of RLCS, and that was something that happened that was really interesting. There were teams that came back that were just dominating, in the first half of the season and got tore up in the second half of the season, and vice versa. There was teams like the Gladiators that were doing so not great in the first half, but came back from that break because of RLCS and got all the way to playoffs and had a pretty good playoff run that didn't end up winning it, but still got there from having like a really really bad season. So throwing these 2 to 3 weeks off, I agree with you. It kind of does and can throw a kink in some people's play. So it's just interesting to see these players, how they come back, what's changed, if anything.
Yeah, because you have
And
situations like Hydra. We haven't played much this off break, so we probably won't be much better than we were when we left. But then you can have other teams where they've put in the hours and they're ready to go, and they're gonna turn their whole season around in a sense coming off this break.
Yes, sir. But we are ready to get into this action. I wasn't sure if everybody was in the lobby, but it looks like they are, Biscuit. So let me get a quick caster prediction from you real quick. Who do you think's taking this tonight?
I think I'm gonna go Bishops 3-1.
Bishops 3-1.
Feels right in my soul. Something's screaming 3-1 Bishops to me. Let it be the Kurnovi gods themselves or something.
Kurnovi guys. Hey, I mean, if they're on your side, they're on your side. We'll have to see. Shorts with the stop in front of his net, but can't get that ball cleared out. Drizzy's up, puts the ball on the net, but Sodak going to get in front of it just in time to make the save. Dolphin Puck sends it down to Shorts, who gets the touch out to the mid, looking for a teammate. Sodak going to get interfered off of that ball, pushed away from it. He wasn't able to make the play. Drizzy finds the pass. Shorts is going to get in front of that ball. What a save on the goal line. That big pass play coming out right there, Biscuit, from the Bishops. I mean, they are looking hot so far.
Bishops and Flame, both teams really find each other in the midfield right now. But I will admit, Flame has looked slightly better on their positioning to cut off these passes. Could lead to a problem for Bishops in the future and some counterattacks, unless Flame keeps backpassing and makes it interesting for themselves. But I think Flame's been handling the passes a little better, but I don't think either team's struggling too hard yet to read them.
Right, and I mean, it's only about a minute and a half into game one of this best-of-5 series, so there's going to be a little bit of endurance needed. It looks like both of these teams that are trying to fill each other out at the moment, though if I had to say, I would say that, well, I don't think I can say that. Well, based on the scoreboard, you got 6 shots to the Bishop's name and 0 shots to Flame's name, but Flame doesn't look like they're just getting dominated or anything like that. They look like they're putting up a pretty good fight here, Biscuit.
Yeah, in boxing terms, right? It only takes one good shot for a mediocre fighter to beat a pro. Sometimes I'm not saying that Flame is mediocre. I'm just saying it only takes one shot, and even though the other team's thrown 6 haymakers, they haven't landed a single one. Versus the Flame can land 1 for 1, they take the lead.
Yeah, that's very true. I couldn't agree more with that statement. As we reach the midpoint of game number 1 here, still sitting at a 0-0 scoreline. Sodak gonna send that one out of the corner. It's a little bit too hard. Goes over the net. No visible shot for any teammates as Drizzy gets the clear out to the midfield, but Sodak gonna pop it back. Hypnotic to send it back. As we see a back-to-back, Short's gonna find the first goal with a pass from Dolphin Puck.
Yeah, and there's that one swing right there. Nice little pass out in the midfield up to Shorts. And that name is impossible for me to say. Drizzy, little Drizzy, just not able to try to get up to that and make the save. And Flame, 1 for 1. I'm just saying, 1 punch is all it takes, baby.
All it takes, and I mean, they did exactly what you called out. 1 shot, 1 goal. Flame sitting with 100% shot accuracy right now. Shorts specifically. But Bishops with 7 shots on the board, unable to find the back of the net. 2 minutes left. They are now nearing the area of needing to panic. Just kidding. They don't need to panic anymore as Levi is going to put that one past the defender.
Crazy, absolutely dusting somebody in Shorts, making a poor decision, jumping off and into the air from the backboard instead of just playing ground position on that and not able to recover. And I'll be honest with you, Psycho, I don't know if that ball was in on first shot. I think it might have been off the bar, but Shorts, in a scramble, just kind of 50'd into his own net, which we've all been there. We've all done it. It's okay. I won't rip him too hard.
Right. It's a tough decision to make. It's definitely a tough decision to make, especially whenever you've got a lot of pressure on you. And Hypnotic getting in front of that one. Dolphin Puck trying to screen the defense, but he's not able to make it work for him. That defense from the Bishops held out strong. Hypnotic again off the backboard. He pops it up for Drizzy, who sends it down past the midway line. Hypnotic following it, but can't get the touch out of the corner. It goes over Drizzy as well. Levi left back in Bishop's defensive zone by himself. He gets the carry over in the midfield, trying to stick with it, puts it over Sodak off the backboard, and Drizzy's there to sink that one through. Bishop's taking the lead.
And Sodak giving Levi here a lot of credit in the air, just kind of waiting to see what he does, and he got kind of beat out. And kudos to Levi here, taking the touch to the backboard instead of forcing a shot. Very high level decision to just leave the ball for a teammate for a much easier shot than him just blast it on the net because he got a little extra space.
Yeah, that was a very heads up play from him. But Dolphin Puck gonna send that one down. Sodak there with a soft touch, but can't do much else. Levi to take it away from him. Send it out to the mid, looking for Hypnotic. The 50 comes out. It goes in favor of Flame. Short's gonna stick with this ball, but he loses control. Drizzy pops it away from him. Sodak in the mid takes control of the ball. Might have a look here. Sends it, but Hypnotic's there to make the shot or make the save. But Shorts comes in, grabs his second goal of the night.
Yeah, and Hypnotic kind of doing exactly what the Flame defense just did a few seconds ago. Instead of attacking the dribbler when I don't have much control, waiting, letting them take a shot. He gets a great save where he doesn't get over him, but it leads to your defense out of position. And once again, a great shot back post, but these defenders really got to push out a little quicker than letting people take these free touches within 10 feet of their net.
Less than 30 seconds left on the clock now. We've got a tied ball game, 2-2. We are still basically in square one. Sodak's going to send that one away. Levi gets the touch in the mid. Drizzy missing his touch. Final 10 seconds. Dolphins got a shot on an empty net. Oh, but it doesn't go in. He sends it just a little wide. And Flame could have ended that right there, but it looks like we're going to have an overtime now in game number 1, Biscuit. That was a nail biter.
That one hurt me. I've been there. I have done that a million times in a few ranked games. But, man, when you're live on stream, first game back from break, and you miss that wide open net, he's going to hear that one in Challenger General, I'm sure, later.
I'm sure he will. Challenger General. All the generals really love just hazing anybody.
Yeah, that might be a hub discussion, that one.
True. Got to bring it to everybody's attention. But we are 30 seconds now into this overtime. Flame trying to get control of the ball. Drizzy with some interference. Shorts puts it up, looks for the carry, but gets just bounced out of the way. The Bishop's going to double on the defensive play, but it works out for him. Hypnotic's going to send that one down. Levi's there to get the second touch. Shorts takes it away from him. Shorts with the demo, but can't beat out Drizzy to the ball as it goes off the backboard. Levi with the shot, but Dolphin Puck gets in front of that one, picks up his savior medal. And Flames defense shining strong. Oh my goodness. God. What? Was that a novice moment?
Are we going to Challenger General back to back here for Flame? And oh no. I will call it the biggest brain fake of Drizzy's career here.
Gotta be.
The sixth god with the fake god, I guess.
Oh my goodness, that's gotta be. That was crazy.
I'm at a loss for words on that one. I've casted many a games and watched many a games in my Nemesis career here, and I don't think I've ever seen an overtime goal quite like that, Psycho.
The question is, do we give Drizzy the credit for doing it on purpose or not?
I think he crap flipped. I'll say that word instead of the bad one because we're on stream. If this was Nemesis After Dark, you know what I'd be saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, and so we don't. So what you're saying is we don't give him credit.
I don't think we can. It didn't seem. It seemed like he was playing the 50, but he played it left. But then on the opposite side, the defender played it left, so they both played the 50 away from each other, and just both players just gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really, my mind's a little boggled, Psycho. I'm not gonna lie. It's a Monday. Monday is my brain barely works already, and I think it just fried my last brain cell.
Yeah, well, I'm not I'm not gonna disagree with you there. I'm a little bit frazzled myself, but hey, it looks like Bishop's gonna just continue the momentum here, getting the first goal of game 2.
A little Drizzy here saying, what, I can flip into the ball. I promise. And and coming out 7 seconds in, I think maybe Flame also a little shocked and all like us, maybe on their back foot while Bishop's feeling the momentum, ride the wave, brother, a la Lulu, and just, just scoring it real quick. They're feeling high after a big brain fake like that.
Yeah, I can't blame them. They're using that momentum to their advantage. Worked out for them so far. Now they have. Nope, just kidding. They had an advantage. Sodak coming in, turning on that ball, and taking a shot on an unsuspecting defense there.
Yeah, Sodak just going for the boost steal and started rotating out, but then little Drizzy kind of just laid it out there for him. He said, "I'll take those. We take those." I mean, we didn't see many goals in the first 2.5 minutes of game 1, and now we're 30 seconds in and we've gotten 2. Make that 3.
Make that 3 as Hypnotic comes through and gets the second goal for Bishops. I gotta wonder what happened to the defense here, Seabiscuit.
Yeah. Go say again, Drizzy here. I'm going to call it another great fake off the bounce. They think he's going to hit it into the back ball, but instead it just floats out into the middle, and the defender kind of forked for you chess fans out there. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. He goes for the read off the back wall and he misses it, or he goes for read in the middle and he maybe touches it. It's kind of a hard position to be in as that defender there in the near post.
Yeah, it certainly is. And it didn't work out for him there, but there's still 4 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for Flame to pick up the pieces, get things going again. Sodak trying to do just that. Missing the ball, though. Shorts touches it. Hypnotic sends it down. Gets the 50 with Dolphin. The ball gets pinched out to the sidewall where Drizzy's going to hit it towards the net. Dolphin puck is there. Gets the touch into the Flame corner. And Dolphin puck still with it. Gets a save as Drizzy puts a pot shot on net. Levi gets it past one, but Shorts gets up to it in time and bounces it off of his own post and out. A very, very risky play from him, but something had to be done, and it worked out for him, Seabiscuit. And it looks like Bishops now are putting on an offensive clinic here, just shot after shot coming out from them.
Yeah, Bishop's really churning up the heat on the Flame right now. It might be blazed by the end of this match with how hot the offensive aggression is here. But Flame, I wanna give a shout out defensively as the local third man. I've been watching Dolphin Puck here a little bit, and he has been making a lot of really good goal line stands for this Flame roster. I think this goal differential could be way worse if he was not there to help them out. Not to take away from Shorts or anyone else, but Dolphin Puck really securing that back line right now for Flame, keeping this a 1-goal game.
Oh, yeah, I fully agree. He's sitting on 2 saves right now. He was, I think, the only player on Flame to get... Ooh, team pinch! Oh, almost went in. Sodak gonna finish that one. What a play from Flame.
Holy pinch, Batman. The goal, whatever. I mean, good read by Sodak here, but that pinch, I thought that was going top bins. I got a little excited. I about had to go run a lap around my room and take a cold shower.
But yeah, Dolphin Puck, I think, was the only Flame member to get the Savior medal, to go back to that point that you were making about him. And there he goes again. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That was Sodak to pick that one up that time. And I got to say, even though he might be the best offender here, Dolphin Puck also showing off his offensive skills. He gets the breakaway there.
Getting the 50 here, and I mean... Levi trying his best to get back, just in an awkward position. Play that a little more vertical if you watch his back, and you probably get the save. Don't play it out. But still, a great shot by Dolphin Puck. Great recovery on the wall. Typically, people that are pretty good at defense do tend to have great recovery. Wow. And Flame has caught fire.
Yes, they certainly have. Shorts with a big play as he dunks out the defender, trying to clear it out, and then gets the read off of the ceiling bounce to put it into a virtually empty net. Nobody from Bishop's able to get back in time to make that stop there, and Flame gonna double the lead here. It is now 4-2 in favor of Flame with about 2 minutes left on the clock. Shorts getting the carry down to Dolphin, who takes the shot, but it goes wide. Going to bounce off the post there, and Bishop's starting to be in a little bit of hot water here as time ticks down. They got to make up 2 points just to send this thing into overtime. Flame able to control the pace of this match, but it looks like Flame might have just overcommitted right there. However, they were able to get back in time before Bishops made anything of that. Seabiscuit, that could have been the start of the comeback for the Bishops.
Yeah, Drizzy just rushing the touch. You got a triple commit with all of them past you, and he just played it way too fast. He could have taken a catch. He could have done a lot of things and probably got him within one here, or just pass it off the back wall, read it off the back wall. I'll shut up, Drizzy. Good shot, you big, beautiful man. I'm sure.
That's on God. It seems like every time you start talking about him, he shows out.
Yeah,
so he's
anything bad about the guy, and he's like, "Hold this biscuit, watch it, shut your dumb mouth in that booth."
And Levi with a great play there, a great pass from the corner, finding his teammate out there. And now Bishops only down by 1 with 1:20 left on the clock. This is a very winnable game for them all of a sudden. As Sodak, can't find the pass, as he had an empty net to shoot at, but he just couldn't get it the touch that he needed to get to send it towards the net. The ball's going to get cleared back to Flames defensive zone. Shorts is there, gets the touch past Levi, down to Sodak, who pops it up. Hypnotic's there, but he's trying to put it over to his corner. And Shorts is going to trying to keep the pressure alive for Flame, but Hypnotic is going to clear that ball out. And this now could be dangerous for Flame. Drizzy going to miss his touch as he would have had a shot on net. Levi coming off the ceiling, but Shorts takes the possession away from him. And Dolphin just trying to bang that thing out, picking up yet another savior medal. I think that man is averaging right now 3 saves per game. It's actually kind of insane.
Beast.
But
defensive
30, yeah, defensive beast. Holy moly. With 20 seconds left on the clock, it is down to the wire now. Bishops have to make a play here, or they face losing game number 2 and being tied in the matchup, or they can try and force this into an overtime. Right here's the ball's in front. Hypnotic missing his touch, and Drizzy sends it over to the side. One last chance here. Drizzy with the carry off the backboard. Levi going just a little bit too early. Hypnotic getting the touch to keep the pressure alive, but Flame going to send that one down and take their W for game number 2.
Drizzy really going for the solo play there, and I hate to say it, Psycho. I don't like the solo play there. He had both teammates down in the midfield with 2 defenders jumping to contest that air dribble, but he just committed to it. I mean, he's shown over and over these past 2 games to me that he definitely has the mechanics to take off an air dribble, but I think you just lay that off to a teammate there, and we're looking at OT. Not to bash the guy, because I can't air dribble for crap, but still.
True. I can't air dribble either, and it was a great attempt, honestly, but it just didn't work out for Bishops right there. Flame were able to hold it down. They set themselves on fire and just came out, got that 2-point lead, and Bishops were not able to come back from that. However, game number 3 might be a different scenario here, Biscuit. As we move into the Coliseum, what type of changes would you like to see from the Bishops?
I think the Bishops, especially here, have gone away from their midfield passing game, which is another reason I go back to air dribble. I felt like they won the game, gained some confidence, and then started feeling like they could all solo the world. And that happens a lot when you have players that are capable of those things. You kind of come out game 1, feel out the other team, play more sound Rocket League, but then you win that game, and you're like, oh yeah, we're just better. And then everyone tries to solo play, and you kind of lose what got you that game 1 victory in the first place.
Yeah, that's very true. It is definitely best to keep the winning mentality. If you had a certain mentality, you get the dub, especially maybe I shouldn't say a commanding dub. They did take command of that game for a little while, but Bishops were definitely never down and out. They held a close match, and I'm sure they'll continue to do that as Hypnotic gets that save on the goal line, just barely able to stop that. His team helps him get it out, but they're still struggling as Flame is applying a lot of pressure, trying to keep the ball in the Bishops' half. Drizzy sends it off the backboard. This could be dangerous. I'm not sure. It looked like maybe Hypnotic was going for a demo there. but he wasn't able to get one, and thus Bishops were not able to make a really active play there on that ball. But they still got possession of it. Dolphin Puck sends it up and out. Drizzy trying to keep it in, but the ball is going to get cleared away. Levi back making that stop. His shorts put a lob ball on the net. 3 minutes and 45 seconds so far left, Biscuit, and it's looking like we're having a similar game number one here. Neither team has been able to find the back of the net.
And the other team found the back of the net, but Flame, kind of like game, I mean, not game one. That was Bishops who was shooting the ball. But Bishops has just been shooting the crap out of the ball, haven't they? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Flame, once again, kind of starting the game off in their defensive half. It feels like they play this, I don't know if they do intentionally, but it's very smart if they are. They play kind of this bait start where they get the other team to be really aggressive and almost forcing them into overcommits by them getting on offense for just a little while and getting out of position. Then Flame kind of takes these counters and puts it down. That's a top binner.
Oh my goodness, that was very close. Sodak getting back in time and getting a good clear on the ball, which worked for him because there was a double commit on Flame, which could have turned into something dangerous. Sodak got a huge clear on that ball. Drizzy looking for a redirect into the net, going to go just a little high as we reach the midway point of game number 3 here. We've got a tied series, a tied game 3. This is, not good for Flame.
Yeah, Shorts, I think probably a little low boost here, just trying to do what he can, sees that attacker, and just the greatest own goal redirect you've ever seen. Flipping from underneath the ball away from the net, somehow angling it into your own net, that is a quality own goal if I've ever seen it, and I give it a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, I would take it. I mean, shoot, most of my own goals are 1s. And so, I mean, I would take an 8. But, oh my goodness! Huge passing play from Sodak in the midfield down to Dolphin Puck. What a shot!
This right here, kids, this is why you look for your teammates. I mean, Sodak could have easily taken a shot off of that and probably it gets saved, but leading up to Dolphin, perfect pass. Dolphin not even do much besides just front flip into it. You know, tap-a-roo, baby. Let's get her in. And just as quickly as Bishops thought they were winning, they are back to square 0.
And what an equalizing goal from Flame there. 2 minutes left on the clock. Flame putting that ball yet again in front of the Bishops net, but the Bishops defense able to clear that one away. Dolphin Puck turning up the aggression here. Sodak with a shot gonna go just high. Drizzy has to get back to it, and he does. He has the 50 with shorts, and that is still in the Bishops defensive zone. They're struggling to get this ball cleared out, and there it is. Finally, Drizzy gonna hit it across the field as Dolphin Puck sends it up, self-serves, and looks for the double. Oh my goodness, that would have been disgusting, but he misses the touch off the backboard. That sent chills down my spine, Biscuit. That man was about to dust the whole team. Oh my God.
Yeah, and he said, screw the double tap, to the ground game. I'm going to take control. You're not bumping me. Flips one, and then just a soft little flick that really put Drizzy in a tizzy. I'm not going to lie. He didn't know what to do. You kind of expect a power shot there, and when they put that slow roller, you're like, I could have saved it, but your brain was not ready for something to be put on shot like that.
True. I mean, that was so crazy. It was like Dolphin Puck took the ball down solo, almost got that double, rotated all the way back. The ball was there for him, so he just took it again, went down solo, and scored the second time.
And I think Bishops here with a minute left, they really need to start looking for each other in the midfield. I have yet to see a real attempt at passing from them. A lot of balls being touched to sidewalls and solo play attempts again, and if they don't pick this up, my 3-1 prediction Bishops is really looking tarnished right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's not looking good for you, my man. But hey, with 35 seconds left on the clock, they can still make this. It's only a 1-goal game, but they got to watch out. Flames starting to look for the pass plays just on the constant. Seems like they're always having one of their players play forward so they can try and get pass plays off. And Short's going to take that away from the Bishops defender, try and get it in front of the net, but it does get cleared away. And Drizzy still sticking with it, gets it cleared past the midway point. But as soon as that ball goes across there, Flame is there to send it right back. And now Flame looking to be just putting this ball down. And this could be dangerous. Hypnotic looking for the double, but Short's getting back just in time. Flame going to let that one touch. Flame taking game number 3 and setting themselves in game point position for this series.
Sorry, my phone yelled at me that it's time to go to bed.
Wow, that's old man biscuit.
Yeah, those 6 a.m. wake up calls come quick. But yeah, I mean, I really thought that ball bouncing straight down. I thought a Bishop player would be under that. I don't understand why they were so far out coming down 0 seconds. Like you're down a goal, friend. You can overcommit here. Those are the moments where you just kind of got to throw your forehead and hope it works. Obviously, don't throw your forehead if your teammate's there, but you had one teammate flying in the air that wasn't going to read that. You might as well play the under position and probably got a goal. But instead, we end up with a slow double tap attempt and Short shot to him. Only save of the game, but it was a big one. Came in and clutched up and secured this 2-1 victory. And now you got a game to mess with. Maybe they go freestyling for a game. Give us some content. Maybe a triple, quadruple flip reset. Musty double with only 30 boosts to start or something like that. Sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, I like it and I want to see it. And now I'm going to be disappointed if I don't see it. So thanks for doing that to me, Biscuit.
I've let down many people in my life. You're not the first or the last.
True. But hopefully, for the sake of the stream, Bishops will be able to pull it together right here, right now. Game number 4 in the Forbidden Temple. If there's any pitch that these guys are going to pull this out, this is going to be the one. Bishops need this win in game number 4 to force a game number 5, or they're going to walk home with the L and send Flame home with that big fat W. Will they be able to do it, or will Flame shut down the club right here, right now? Dolphin Puck up, sending it all the way back. Hypnotic there, but not gonna work out for him. He gets the only touch he can get, really, from what I saw, Biscuit.
Yeah, you wouldn't get back that. That was, I mean, it was close, and maybe you could argue he could get a better touch, but that's a really hard touch to make and a really strong touch by Dolphin Puck, realizing that this Bishop's team is kind of over-aggressing a little bit there. Just kind of you're down a game, trying to get a goal early, get some momentum, and Dolphin Puck doing exactly what you want to do and saying, how about instead of you getting momentum, I give my whole team momentum, as we have an open net opportunity. Yeah.
Very nice. I like that. It's like you're from a 90s rock band.
Thank you for calling me Led Zeppelin.
Drizzy with a big shot right there, catching the defense of the Flames sleeping in net. Not able to stop that one. He's going to equalize that score. Barely 30 seconds gone from this game, and it's awesome, or it's awkward is the word I meant to use, Biscuit. It's like game number 1 and game number 3 were very similar. It looks like game number 2 and game number 4 are going to be very similar. The only thing that was different in game number 3 to game number 1 was that Bishops weren't able to win it.
Yeah, they're consistently inconsistent, both of these teams. We've seen games where it's high-powered offense and games where it's kind of a back-and-forth slug match, and that's interesting to see. You don't see that every day, where it's kind of this back and forth. One game, everyone's just said screw defense, that's for the birds, and then the next game, everyone's like, no, I am the best defender since Rizzo, G2, like early G2 days, and it's interesting. We've slowed down here a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like there's many goals to come here in this game 4. It is Forbidden Temple after all.
It is Forbidden Temple. So, I mean, I'd say either you're spot on with that, or it's going to be the exact opposite and possibly the most boring game of the series.
30 minutes.
But
incoming 1-1.
Right. And if that happens, hopefully the Bishops are able to force the game 5 so we can get the content for the stream. We love the content around here. The more Rocket League, the better. And so let's see what what Bishops are able to do. If they can stop Flame here, or Flame take the W. Levi, send it out to Hypnotic. Oh my gosh! Wow.
84, 86. Dang it! So close. So Hypnotic. I don't know if that was on there, but Dolphin Puck, fresh off the respawn, went for the boost decision as last back, and I think just kind of pissed down his leg. Moment was too big for him. He didn't know what to do. Pissed down his leg.
Yeah, from the angle that my camera was at that shot, I'm pretty sure that shot was off the net, and I don't even think that he really meant to touch the ball like that. I think he just kind of reacted, and then it just happened. And
Yeah.
she's Louise.
I don't know how I got here, but I'm here type moment.
Right, exactly. And then, hey, maybe the fastest goal of his career and straight in his own net.
Hey, we've seen some absolute heaters on the own goals today.
Very true,
We
very
got
true.
3 of them now? 3?
3? Oh, yeah, dang. This is Challenger?
Yeah, we got 3 of them. We got IQ or whatever. Yeah, IQ shorts with the read off the back wall. Can't remember if it was in game 1, but the little double tap off the post, and then that one. Yeah, we're at 3. 4 games in, we're moving with the own goals today. I don't know what the Nemesis record is in a single game, and I think this should be tracked better, record books. But I think we're pushing for a record today.
Yeah. Whoever's on the record books, you need to get on that. So
yeah, I'm sure like Chillin holds the record or something, but
maybe.
That might be a little toxic, huh? My bad.
Just a little. I don't know what they call it. I want to say Riz, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
I think Riz is when you flirt with the ladies or something.
Yeah,
we're old men now. We don't keep up with the flirtations and all that.
Oh man, what a save from Shorts right there as a shot comes out from the Bishops. Bishops now leading by, I mean, we're having such a good conversation there, Biscuit. I did not even really recognize that they took the lead there. But a little over 60 seconds left, and they're going to extend the lead.
Yeah, extending it on I'm still trying, a great 50 by Hypnotic and Sodak. I mean, you're just kind of sitting in the fire line hoping that the bullets miss you, but in this case hit you. And nope, able to put it top bins. I mean, there's no way you're guessing they're going to take that read and put it at the top of the net. I don't care who you are. That was a great shot. Just hard to defend. And now can Bishops hold on, force this game 5 without the 30-minute OT?
I think that they can, but I'm not going to lie. I think it's going to be tough. Flame knows that they got to turn it on now, and we've seen them been popping. Oh, Sodak getting back just in time as Hypnotic puts a shot on net. Sodak with the clutch save there. That's another thing that we've had a lot so far, Seabiscuit, is clutch own goals and clutch saves.
Yeah, we had a bunch of clutch saves. Oh, and I think that's just in.
That's just in.
It's just in.
Oh.
Is that up? If it pinched off the defender, I'm calling it long goal number 4. Oh, okay.
Oh,
nope,
man.
They touched Driz last. Okay. Not on goal number 4.
No,
Blue team touched her last. We're good.
But very, very unfortunate for Flame there, as they are now.
With that one.
Flame now down by 3 points with 20 seconds left on the clock, looking pretty bleak for them. Indeed, looking like Bishops gonna take this game number 4 and force the game number 5. You love to see it for the content. We need all of the Rocket League here, and these guys are about to give it to us. Levi gonna fake out the defender there and get one for the road.
Yeah, given the 5-1 and building a little extra momentum here going into this last game here, game 5, first series back from the break, and we are already seeing a game 5. Nemesis Gaming League starting off strong here to start the new year.
Yes, sir. I'd say about the only thing that can make this better from this point on is we can get a game 5 OT. And I mean, let's let that OT go 10 minutes so we don't even got to go into the next match.
Yeah, so we can get back into that conversation we were having beforehand. I don't remember what it was now because I just got so baffled by how many goals were scored in 30 seconds by this Bishop roster. But yeah, I think Flame there, it felt like a foot off the gas pedal type of scenario. They just kind of, I think, came in a little coast mode. I think the nerves weaned off. You have that game lead. You're on match point. You don't want to screw it up. You think, okay, let's just go out here, play safe, and then, sometimes safe still gets you pregnant.
Oh,
sorry that came out.
I mean, it's true.
I apologize for that one.
It's true though. And there was no curse words involved, so some education.
Yeah, education. Nemesis and University coming next season.
But now we're gonna get educated on this game number 5 on Champions Field. Bishops versus the Flame. Both of these teams sitting at 6-4 for their seasonal record. So this is going to be the deciding factor. Levi starting things off for the Bishops, carrying the momentum in from game number 4.
Forcing IQ into a bad position. Dolphin Buck, who has been a phenomenal defender, just expecting, I guess, the near post shot, but Levi able to put it behind him and in, and we're 20 seconds in. Bishops have taken the lead. They are technically the favorites to win this match now.
Yes, they are, and now Drizzy is taking it up the side, trying to stick with it, but loses possession. Dolphin going to get 50 or dunked by Hypnotic as Bishops keep. Oh, another pinch coming out from Flame, and it's towards the net. Oh my goodness, that is the second. Looked like intentional pinch coming out from Flame there. Not able to convert off of that one like they were the first one, but it looks like Shorts is going to go ahead and self-serve himself a double tap off the backboard.
Yeah, and I've learned one thing from my previous statement. I said Bishop were the favorites, but you know who else were favorites this last weekend? The Green Bay Packers, and they still lost. Let's go, Flame.
Let's go, Flame. Yeah, and that's a big, and apparently Critter too, because he's a big fan of the Green Bay Packers. Oh my gosh! Dolphin with a huge top bin right there, straight in the left 90.
Sorry. I can just already see Rockerman yelling at me for that one. Because screw the Packers. Bear down.
My man Biscuit is on some NFL stuff right now.
Yeah, I've lost train of thought. Let's reel it back in. All right,
let's reel it back in. We've got Bishops and Flames. 3 minutes and 48 seconds. Flame just took the lead. And there's still a lot of Rocket League left to be played. And oh my goodness, with the doink that doesn't go in. It bounces off the post. Dolphin Punk with a huge shot. But Levi holds strong on the defensive line. And now Bishops are struggling just to get this ball cleared out. Drizzy going to send it back to his own corner, trying to create a little space for his team, a little time. He gets it past Dolphin Punk, and he's sticking with it in the midfield. Pitches out to the mid. He's going to stick with it, though. Takes it up the sidewall. He's got to beat out Shorts. He does. He gets the touch, but he can't follow it up. Hypnotic going to 50 with Sodak. Oh, my goodness. Levi sending it down to Hypnotic, who gets the shot, but Dolphin Puck's there and gets a huge save on the goal line. Some big back-and-forth plays happening right now. Oh, and this is dangerous. Bishops looking for a shot here, looking for a snipe, but Shorts sends it away and out of the danger zone. But then he sends it back to the mid. Drizzy with control gets the flick past Dolphin, and we got a tie ball game.
Holy crap, I didn't know we were going to Cedar Point for the last minute there. That was the most roller coaster emotions I have ever gone through. That save on the other end, 2 people just double committing their lives away, selling out, getting the save, and then we bring it around 30 seconds later, and we have Driz here making a great catch and decision to score and equalize this, going right into the halfway point of this Game 5.
Yes, it certainly is. Oh my God, this is what you love to see, ladies and gentlemen. And I am like literally on the edge of my seat, probably about to knock down the screen behind me, but I'm just so ready for this. This is some really good stuff right here. Back and forth in the midfield. Levi with the pinch over the defender off the backboard of Flame. Hypnotic was there, but he couldn't beat out the defenders. And Shorts gonna 50 with Drizzy in Bishop zone. Sodak's there, keeping the pressure alive, but Hypnotic going to send that across the midline. And Dolphin Puck to send it back. We're starting to get the back and forth in the midfield again. That is so, this matchup has just been like that. It's been back and forth in the midfield on the... Oh my gosh, I can't even talk right now. Drizzy coming in, taking the lead right there with a nice shot. A good turn from him.
Great turn, and Flame just caught with their pants down right there. I mean, they make a touch to the side, and instead of taking that time to get back to net, all players kind of just sitting out. They weren't really grabbing boost. I don't exactly know what they were doing, but it led to a Bishop's goal. 2 Bishop's goal. They're just leaving the ball in front of their net. What is going on? Bagels is rolling, and I'm not casting any more grave. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to be. What is happening? I don't think they knew what was happening. I think both of those players thought, well, my teammates got this. And yeah, I mean, when you have that thought and it just gets left, the Bishops take advantage of those all day. Levi even having time to drive in reverse before he scored that goal. Biscuit.
Yeah, my forehead's hot. Oh my! You know, don't call it. Don't sing till the fat lady's singing or whatever that statement is. But I don't know what's going on. This Flame roster has been so solid on defense here. This last 30 seconds just must have passed the controller off to Ember or something, because I'm very confused.
Yeah, something crazy has definitely happened here. It looks like everybody's ping has been good so far, so it's definitely not that. You know, sometimes this is just one of those things that happen. Maybe Bishops just found that kink in Flame's armor. They're like, we're going to expose this now that we know that you can't do this or whatever your weakness is. We're going to expose this, and it seems to be working for him. In game number 4, they were able to run away with it, and it ended up being like 5-1 at the end of it. Now we're sitting at 5-2 with a roughly 60 seconds left. Flames got to make up 3 goals here. It's going to be a tough one for them to do. Sodak trying to make it happen, but gets behind it. Shorts going to come in and make the play on that ball. Gets the goal. Now Flame down by 2 with 57 seconds left.
And Levi just trying to get the flip out, and Hypnotic kind of, making it a little awkward for him by kind of going for the ball, missing. I don't know if that's communicated well, but it's really hard as a defender when you think your teammate's going to have a touch and they don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know that all too well, being a more defensive player myself as well. But hey, that's sometimes the situation that you're found in, and got to work with it the best you can, just like Flame is doing right now. 35 seconds left here. They got to make something happen. I'm kind of expecting to see, either Shorts or Dolphin show up here, because those are the 2 guys that have been able to pop off in these series. They've only got 30 seconds left. Dolphin with a huge save there, and oh my goodness,
God.
Levi, that man, what?
What?
Can
All right. Drizzy there. I thought for sure Levi just screwed his team with securing this win when he made that touch, and I'm sure Drizzy wasn't the happiest there. But once you go in, I'm sure they're in their VC right now, gassing him up like no other right now, because that was an amazing shot.
They better be. And with 10 seconds left here, I mean, that wasn't the game-winning goal, but it certainly put the dagger in the team that is Flame. And Hypnotic gonna slot a 7th one for a 0-second goal. Add some insult to injury here to this Flame roster to send them home packing. They wanted them to know who the definitive winner was, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Bishops.
Yeah, that was checkmate. That was the fire extinguisher. That goal, there was, after something like that, there's just no chance Flame has anything behind them to try to bring it back to get that 2-goal deficit back, or 3-goal deficit became. That shot was amazing, and I'm honestly still shook right now. And I know we should talk about something else, but that was astronomically impressive for me. Like, as a non-mechanical player, even, like, whoa.
Yeah, that was definitely crazy, but we're going to wrap this thing up as we are just now a couple of minutes behind. We need to go to a short break real quick before we get back into the action. We're going to be going down to the Provisional League to showcase some of the newest players here in the Nemesis Gaming League, and they are the lowest rank, but they are also tomorrow's stars of the higher ranks in the Nemesis Gaming League. Seabiscuit, I appreciate you joining me up here in the booth. It's always a pleasure, my man.
Yeah, always an honor to get the Spicy Meatball Boys back in the booth every once in a while, having a good old chuckle and seeing some very entertaining games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very, very short break before we get back into it, so we will see you shortly.
moment, my fate written, I'm chosen. Other spirits fall, but mine has ceased to be broken. You stripping down my pride, but I'm my only opponent. And lately I abide, but limitless I've awoken. So let me show you that everything I sacrificed mattered. All that blood, sweat, tears that I scattered. All that fake talk, fear that you splattered. Push me to right here, a new chapter.
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
One too many times, the shots that y'all are taking. One too many times that I've been stuck patient on my downfall. Antidote seeking while I was vacant, but the crown falls simply to those who try to take it. One shot to get two paid, and my three wet like lemonade. 4 times and I step back just to reload and I let it spray. This is everything that I need, everything that I wanted, everything that I bleed. This is victory and I got it, cause I'm
Here now, waiting for the flag to fall. Here now, cutting through the rolling fog. You know you need it. It's so close, I feel it. Here now, this is the moment.
right here, right now, right now.
Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Heaven knows. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any
All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back after that absolute banger of a matchup to kick things off with our second matchup of the night as we are heading down to the Provisional League where we have Uprising taking on the Wolfpack here. I'm Rockerman back in the booth here for this one, joined by the one and only Iroza. Iro, how are you doing on this fine Monday evening?
I am fantastic, which is something people probably usually don't say on a Monday night, but changes today. We get Uprising against Wolfpack. They may be provisional, but provisionals pull stuff out of their pockets out of nowhere.
That is true.
It's
and
incredible.
Yeah, we are running a little bit behind, so we're gonna keep it brief here. Make sure you get your channel point predictions in. The Discord is rocking with the Wolfpack 32-9. Iroza, are you agreeing with the Discord here tonight as we get into this one with Wolfpack? You think they're gonna take it? And obviously we can talk a little bit more about these teams as things go on, but we always gotta start out with the predictions. So you rocking with the Discord?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Uprising with the because Wolfpack have the free agent sub. So, I feel like we're going to have to go with the team with the more chemistry.
All right. Well, we will have to see. Uprising, they do have some chemistry, and we're getting this thing underway. The rosters are on the pitch here. We have Django's Joestar, B-Mat, and Cool Socks for Uprising. And then on the Wolfpack, we have Zeverance, Lasagna Man, and then Koga. That sub in there, the free agent sub in. He's been around quite a bit here. As we kind of get things going here, Iro, what are you looking at from both these teams? What are some things of interest that the viewers should know here?
Again, like I said, Provisional, obviously they're not the best, but they're not the worst. They can pull out some crazy plays from nowhere, which I'm hoping to see, probably once in a lifetime for Provisional to hit a reset or something. That would be amazing. But in the end of the day, I'm just looking for a good game. Nice, fun Rocket League.
Yeah, definitely. It would be a lot of fun here in the Provisional League. It's always interesting to see how these players end up going here, and we're gonna have to see who is gonna turn out with the win. Both these teams, you can see the records at the top. Uprising 2-4 on the season, got a forfeit win in one of their earlier matches, and also took down Agility 3-0. So there are those 2 wins, and then Wolfpack, they are 3-3 on the season. So right there, middle of the pack here, as all these teams will be in that play-in tournament, but these teams are fighting for the playoffs. That's the big thing here. But at the moment, both these teams sitting in that playoff position, or play-in position, excuse me, and looking to get back into that top 4. And it's a little bit interesting, Iro, here with how the Provisional League works, where all these teams are going to be in the postseason, but just like the top 5 leagues, they want to make that push into the playoffs.
I feel like the better position that you're in, which is why it really, again, everybody makes it in Provisional, but I feel like the better position you're in, the better off you'll be overall.
Yeah, definitely so. And if you can make your way into that playoff spot, you avoid the play-in tournament. All these teams want to do that. Every league in Nemesis, you want to avoid the play-in tournament because it's usually, well, not always winning and go home, but you have to play some matches, some more elimination matches that you could otherwise avoid here. And both these teams trying to pull out of that spot. And so far, we're about halfway, and these 2 teams are held scoreless on this one, Iro, and all combined in this lobby, there are 2 shots combined between all 6 of these players in this lobby, 1 for each team.
There's also 2 saves, 1 for each team. Yeah. So you could say it's very, very evenly matched, especially with with both teams having the same record. It's kind of hard to pick a prediction. I'm kind of surprised that it went so far in Wolfpack's way in the server, because again, these 2 teams look incredibly even.
Yeah, they really do. And so far, only 2 shots for both these teams combined. Looking to make some magic happen here on the offensive end. It's going to be key. And I know here is, wait a minute, it opened up with Django's. He can't put it in. Oh, that one tough. You thought he was going to put it in, but it's Provisional. You never know what's going to happen there. It's heartbreaking there. Had a great opportunity, but couldn't quite find the back of the net. And that one could come back to bite him here.
That's the definition of a Provisional moment. It was wide open. All he had to do was just drive. He didn't even have to leave the ground, but he wanted to be mechanical. He wanted to show off the mechs that he has, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, that one unfortunate there for Django's, as now Uprising going to have to try and regain here, but they had another opportunity, and now they got a couple shots to their names, looking for a block here. No one can quite connect as this ball's waiting in front of that. Here comes a shot opportunity, but it's going to go off the post. Close shot for Lasagna Man, but it's not meant to be, as Cool Socks trying to take it up as we're under a minute here in game 1 of this best of 5. Django's going to get a huge dunk out of the midfield. B-Mat coming through, looking to read it off the backboard. Here comes Django's again off the backboard, but no follow to be had there, as Cool Socks is going to try to keep this one in the middle. And still, we're all knotted up at a 0-0 game here, Ira, with 30 seconds remaining. And someone is going to have to try to break through. It looks like it might be next goal. And Django looking for redemption. He finds it on the solo play.
It was a nice little pop over 2 defenders. B-Mat gave him a little push for the first pop, and then he just took it by himself to get over Koga.
Yeah, huge play with 30 seconds remaining. Uprising on top here in this one, going up against the Wolfpack. And now Wolfpack going to see if they can regain here their free agent sub of Koga. B-Mat, though, looking to not have any of that as Lasagna Man gonna find a save. This ball rolling up to the side, gonna be popped up high in the air. A bang, gonna come through. Lasagna Man takes it down and shoots it in, and we are tied with 12 seconds left.
Django was caught with his pants down. He was just staring there. It looked like a shooting star on his screen. Just went right over his head.
Yeah, right over his head and right into the back of the net from Lasagna Man, putting in the clutch work there. So they tie it up, and now we're right back to a tied ball game. Here comes Zeverins looking to possibly end it. This ball popping up. Cool Socks can't make the touch. This ball dangerous. Django's can't get it, but B-Mat does. But this ball still in. Koga looking to find a dagger, shooting it towards the backboard, but hits the ground, and we're heading overtime, Iro.
Oh my goodness. I thought this game was over with the consistent provisional moments until Lasagna Man pulled that one out of the bag where he came off the side wall. Can he do it again, or can one of his teammates come in, fill in his shoe just like that, where Koga takes it right over the takes it right over Uprising's head and just slams it right dead center in the middle of the net.
Yeah, Koga just too quick there in the corner. Django's had a little bit of a mistouch, and Koga, that free agent sub, coming in clutch for his team there as Wolfpack. They take game number 1 here, and I mean a comeback win nonetheless. There is, Ira, they were down with under 15 seconds remaining, and then Lasagna Man, the clutch goal, and then the finisher coming in from Koga. So I mean, Uprising, they might be feeling like they gave one away here.
I mean, you can't really count Uprising out because, again, that was so close. They just had one little mishap towards the end, which unfortunately led to their loss. But in the end of the day, rightful win by Wolfpack. Uprising have to come back after that one unless they want to try to reverse sweep it, which would be a fun show. But as we're already running a little bit behind, we personally don't want to see that one.
Yeah, not necessarily, but I mean, hey, for the content, we can't really complain if we do get some content here, but we will have to see as we're heading into game number 2 on Urban Central. And yeah, Uprising may have given that one away, and Wolfpack definitely snatched it away there with some good plays there at the very end, led by Lasagna Man. As now we're into game 2 with Wolfpack leading the series, and Ira, I'm curious to see if we're going to see a little more offense in this game. Obviously, last game a little bit low scoring. I mean, the first goal wasn't scored until 30 seconds remaining, and maybe some stream numbers are going to go away, and we'll see a little bit more of an offensive showing in this one.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. But we need to see Uprising just be on the blue half more often. They haven't really been able to get out of their half.
Yeah, they really haven't. It was good before, but here comes Koga. Look, taking it to the air a little bit of an air dribble from Koga as he takes it into the net there, and Wolfpack go up 1-0.
A nice little pop. Django got a little too ahead of himself, thought he could read it, but Koga was just too fast.
Yeah, nice little play, and Koga stepping up big here for the Wolfpack as he finds the back of the net, his second goal of the night here. He put in the game winner in game number 1, and now taking the lead here in this game number 2. Cool Socks taking control. Django's found a little bit of a demo. Django's going to pop it up high. Opportunity here. Here comes B-Mat trying to put it on net, but just a little bit outside. As Koga going to pinch this one down, sending it towards the Uprising zone. Cool Socks going to make a touch, looking to stay with it here as this ball pops up high and can be sent away to the corner. B-Mat got one touch. B-Mat again looking to take a shot there, but Koga waiting again on the goal line as Zeverins, who we haven't really talked much about Zeverins here. It's interesting to see Zeverins is one of those people here. Obviously, we have a couple people, Cool Socks, B-Mat, who have been around Nemesis for a while, but Zeverins is one of those guys, Ira, that's been around Nemesis for a long time here and, still hanging around here down in the provisional.
You know what? He may have gotten dropped down like a couple of players from Novice last season, but he's still here. He's still here to try to show that he still has it in the bag, unless he whiffs like that. Oh my goodness! 2 whiffs right off the back. Zevern just double jumped instead of flipped, which happens to the best of us. But the shot off the post again, a recreation of last match.
Yeah, and it was Django's again, a tough break for him as he had another open net, and maybe the nerves just getting to him. I know Django's, personally, and he's a solid player, and maybe just these stream nerves. I know BMAT was saying something like that, that he's like, oh, dang, it's a stream game. I'm a little nervous now that it's a stream game because they didn't know that it's a stream game until it was announced, and maybe the stream nerves getting the best of him there. As that one's another tough break. Is this ball hanging around the midfield? Zevers can't connect. Here comes Koga trying to get it around the defender. It's hanging there. Lasagna Man with the finish. And it's 2-0 Wolfpack.
This all started with the demo from, I believe it was Zeverns, who just opened up the net completely. Nobody from Uprising was expecting it, and they just wide open net. Wolfpack, they had a little bit of a struggle getting it in, but in the end of the day, it reached the back of the net.
Yeah, it did. Found the back of the net, and it's a 2-0 lead here as Wolfpack. They are looking solid here in this one. But Uprising, you can't say they haven't had their opportunities in the last 2 games. As now here comes B-Man looking to make a solo play happen. This ball going to pop really high up. Lasagna Man trying to get to it. Here comes Django's. But that one just sent away to the corner. Zevern's now on the dribble. Going to send it down into the Uprising zone. Not much time remaining for them. So we're under a minute and a half here almost. And they got to try to make something happen. Here comes Django's with the demo, looking to find something else. He's going to steal that ball away. Going to try to take it up, but not a lot of abuse. Going to try to send it down. This one, drop it right in front of the net, but a huge save from Koga to clear it away. And that defense, again, the Wolfpack, they have had some solid defense on that end.
Nothing's been able to get past them. I mean, at least the shots that have been put on target. Koga has been really, really shining, especially with defense. The 2 saves on his part, the second one, it didn't look too much like a save, but I'm pretty sure the ball was actually going in after a second look.
It was hanging around the net. It very well could have been one, as Koga coming up clutch and putting in a show here. Subbing in for Savage, who's the normal player here for the Wolfpack. And now 40 seconds remaining. Uprising. Oh my goodness, B-Man, he dunks at the whole team, but can he finish it? He's trying to find the read, but he can't. Another opportunity for Uprising, and that seems to be the story of this series, as this one dangling in front of their net with under 30 seconds remaining. Just the missed opportunities have not gone their way with 20 seconds remaining. Uprising got to find 2 here. They've got to come through, but a double commit. B-Man has an opportunity, looking for the shot, and he puts it bar down ski. Uprising with 13 seconds left have a chance.
He just had the perfect amount of power to get it past. Was it 1? Yes, it was 1 defender. Just the perfect amount. Made sure he didn't overshoot it to go over the net. It went bar down. Perfect positioning. Nothing the opposing team could have done there.
And here they come back looking for another one. Here, this ball dangling, but it's saved away. Lasagna Man, clutch performance. The final seconds ticking away. Django's gonna try to keep it in, but he can't get back to it. And Wolfpack, they are gonna survive here, and they're gonna go up 2-0 in this best of 5, looking to pull off the sweep if they can pull off this next game.
Uprising just showed that they still have the dog in them to fight. It's just how long can they keep the Wolfpack down? The second that the Wolfpack get ahead, Uprising are almost done for. They tried to change the tide. They had such a close opportunity towards the end, but it was quickly shut down. They just need to put those shots on target. If they were to have their shots on target, it would be game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with you there, as we saw the open nets, we saw a couple of the opportunities for Uprising, but Wolfpack, they've held steady. They've held steady, and when they had their opportunities, they capitalized, and that's, got to be the biggest difference in this series so far. And, the big reason Wolfpack is up 2-0 and looking for the sweep is capitalization. And, that's one of those things, Iro, is, obviously there's a lot of people in these lower leagues, but as you get to those higher leagues, that's kind of where it translates over. It's all about consistency, as B-Matt is going to start things off for Uprising as they start the long journey to try to reverse sweep.
Fresh off the kickoff, Cool Socks knew exactly where B-Matt would be and just put it right on top of his car. It was beautiful. I couldn't see who it was in net, but one of the Wolfpack just couldn't reach the ball in time.
I think that was Zeverns there. Couldn't quite touch it. Is this ball dangerous? Koga coming right back. And with 9 seconds in it, we've got 2 goals and an answer from Wolfpack.
An unfortunate touch by BMAT just hits it back center for Koga, and the unfortunate miss by Django just sets Koga up for the perfect shot. Nothing they could do. Well, nothing different they could do besides other than obviously hit the ball.
Yeah, and that one, unfortunate, right? One uprising. It seemed like they were going to have a lead. Seems like they could have had some momentum. A goal goes right back the other way, and now they're right back in a tie game. 1-1 here in game 3 that they need to win, and B-Matt is putting that one in. He's starting to heat up just a bit here. His second goal of the game. Only 28 seconds gone by.
BMAT's woken up. BMAT showing that he wants his team to get this win. He doesn't care if he has to have the entire team on his back. He wants to see that win. He wants a reverse sweep right here.
Yeah, and I know I mentioned BMAT maybe a little bit nervous earlier, knowing it was the stream match, but once you get a game or two in, usually those nerves can settle down, and hopefully for Uprising's sake, BMAT is starting to come into his zone as they take the 2-1 lead here in game 3. Zeverns popping this ball by. Here comes Koga looking to beat the defender just a little bit quicker. Koga putting in another one. He's got so many goals this series. I believe he has 4 to his name in this one.
Who is this guy? He knows how to air roll? That's not a provisional thing. Get this guy a novice. What's going on?
Well, I think they can air roll. I think we give him a little credit. I think they can air roll. I think I saw B-Matt air rolling. We can give him a little credit, but I agree with you. He's a little bit crazy here. He was on a team, I believe, at one point earlier this season. As Django's got to go for this squishy save, but it's not going to come through. Zeverns puts that one in the back of the net.
Oh, if Django would have just stayed still, all he had to do was just double jump, and he was right there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. Sometimes you try to get a little too fancy, and I think just a little too fancy on that one there, where he could just stay on the ground and maybe try to turn around. Is this one a shot? Django's, he's gonna make that save. No need to get fancy, just off the sidewall there. As this one a little bit awkward. Cool Stock's trying to make a block. Koga coming in, but Django's gonna help his teammates out. But this one's fired right back in. Cool Stocks and B-Matt is gonna come through with the save, and now Uprising again to find themselves down not only 2-0 in this series, but now 3-2 in this game number 3. They need to win here. Not the touch Cool Stocks is looking for, but B-Matt trying to send it down. Zeverns gonna take it up the sidewall. Gonna pop it in the ceiling. This ball popping up. Lasagna man off the backward. Koga trying to read that. Oh my goodness, almost a pre-jump passing play there for Wolfpack, which would have been insanely impressive here in provisional. As Uprising panicking on the goal line. Lasagna man bar down, but it's going to be pinched out by B-Man. That ball hovered on the goal line, but Uprising keeping their hopes alive here as they save that one away.
That was close. That was anything but close besides this goal right here. Koga, might I add, he has been on over 130 ping, I'm pretty sure the entire series, and he has just been dominating.
Really dominating here is Koga, as that's another goal gone by, a hat trick for him in this game number 3, and really just putting in that work here, and the perfect sub in for this Wolfpack squad here. As 2:40 remaining. Uprising gotta find some goals. This ball popped high off the backward. B-Matt trying to get to it, but Wolfpack able to triple commit that one away. Django's, he can't connect, was looking for the placement maybe, but just couldn't hit the ball. This one popped up. Zeverns out. Django's gonna cut that one off. Lasagna, he can't connect. Koga gonna send down the pitch. Lasagna man pop this one high in the air. Uprising trying to get out to it. They do just in time. With 2 minutes remaining, Uprising, they need something to go their way, Ira. They had 2 goals relatively early, but it's been pretty much all Wolfpack ever since. And hold up, wait a minute, this ball is gonna pop up. Unfortunate as the net was open, but still looking to try to find something here.
Oh.
That's something there is. Jacobs is gonna put it in the back of the net.
I was just about to start talking, and I just see Django fly from the corner and just get the perfect dunk 50 on the opponent, and it just rolls right in. It caught Zeverns off guard.
And sometimes you got to do that, Iro, is, when you're down, you just got to challenge. You just got to go. You got to be the one putting on the aggression. And right there, it was Janko's as here comes an answer. Oh, heartbreaking for Uprising. It seems like every time they're right back in it, something like that happens and Lasagna Man puts in a goal.
He just dribbles it off the ground, and it just pops into the upper 90 perfectly. Neither of the defenders could get to that height in time, and it just right over their heads again.
Yeah, unfortunate on that one. But Lasagna Man, he did exactly what he needed to do. Is this ball dangerous towards the net, but it's just off. Zeverns trying to find a follow. This ball dangerous. B-Man can't get to it as Zeverns puts that one home, and it's 6-3 in favor of the Wolfpack.
VMAT thought the first one was going in, but it just bounced right off the post. But it bounced right into Zeverns' hands, who had a beautiful finish. All he had to do was just look at the ball, and it would just roll into the net.
Yeah, Zeverns coming up clutch there on that one. And Wolfpack finding a tough deficit to be in. But wait a minute, they're going to find one here. B-Mat is going to get the hat trick. Is that one a little bit of an own goal there?
I feel like Koga just wanted another one to the collection. That was Koga's goal. It would have rolled right in front, but Koga just felt like he needed to add one more to his collection.
Hey, fair enough there, as that one goes in the back of the net. But it does keep Uprising in the game here, as they try to battle back in this series. Now 6-4, a minute 15 remaining. They're going to have to find some magic here, as this ball is not looking good for him, but it's going to hit off the post. This ball's still dangerous for him. Jango's trying to find the 50. He does just enough to get that one away, but Uprising, they have to counterattack, and this is not the counterattack they're looking for. Lasagna can't connect, but Zeverns is coming through. But Uprising, save it away, and still the hope is alive, but Wolfpack is trying to keep the pressure on him, wasting precious seconds away. As Koga into the ceiling, Zeverns, can he read it? Looking for the shot, but he's just a little bit off. And Uprising, now 40 seconds remaining. They're getting suffocated, Iro.
They need to get the ball out of their half right now if they're even going to want a chance to win this game. They have to take it to overtime, let alone a win. And the second that they get the ball into the blue half, it's just almost immediately cleared away.
Yeah, and the seconds ticking away. They need 2 goals in under 10 seconds as Lasagna Man. Oh my goodness, he's wasting the time away. Smart decision right there. And playing the analytics as this ball sent out and stopped there. And that is going to do it. The Wolfpack come through with the clean sweep. Get out the brooms as they take down Uprising here in 3.
I'm going to say this. I may have gotten completely proved wrong, but I don't want to say I got completely proved wrong by Wolfpack. At first, I said Uprising was taking this because of the chemistry. Koga doesn't care about chemistry. He doesn't care. He just puts the ball in the back of the net and goes on.
Yeah, I mean, Koga, really stepped up in that game. Koga with a hat trick, but Zeverns also put in 2 goals in that one. So, but yeah, I agree with you. You gotta give credit to Koga. Excellent performance from him, and maybe gonna get his name out enough to get back onto a team. I know he's been around provisional pretty much all season, and with a performance like that, I know some teams would be eyeing him up. You say maybe Agility, who's had a rough season, 0-6 still on the season. Maybe they can eye him up, try to turn things around, because at the end of the day, with all these teams in that postseason hunt, it's all about how you finish the season. And, with a player like Koga, could be the move there. And Wolfpack, they're happy to have him on their team this time as they take the victory 3-0. Going to go to 4-3 here on the season. Uprising going to drop to 2-5 on the season. Looking to have to fight out of that play-in tournament more than likely here. But Iru, all in all, Wolfpack, a solid performance there. And if Zeverns and Lasagna Man can play like that around their normal third, which I believe is Savage, they could possibly be a team that could make a little bit of a wave in the Provision League later on.
If they really want, they just showed that Koga is probably the better option But that's just a little bit of brainstorming that they have to do on their part.
They do have the cap room to pick him up if they wanted to, but obviously they have to drop someone. But hey, you gotta love a good performance on stream. So shout out to Koga there, shout out to Wolfpack for taking that one. Uprising, they gave it their best there at the end. They tried. That was the most goals we've seen from them in that last game, but it wasn't quite meant to be. As the brooms come out here, Wolfpack sweeping away Uprising, and that is going to do it for our second match of the night here. We have one more on the docket here to round things out here. We are heading to the Novice League, where we have upset potential here as the Vandals taking on the Gorgons. The Vandals 8-2, the Gorgons are 2-8, but Iro, I've heard some good things. They've got some guys on the Gorgons, and low key, I'd be looking for the upset here. They got Psychonautic, Flight Knight, and K-Man, who K-Man was in the running for Player of the Week this past week. So hey, I would watch out here. People might be thinking they're gonna go down easy. Obviously, Vandals are a great team, but hey, I wouldn't put them out. I wouldn't put them out so quickly.
If we're keeping it low key, I'm nothing but agreeing with you that I got the privilege to scrim that team with a random roster, and it was scary. I'm not even gonna lie. They kept rotating players in and out, but it was still scary.
Yeah, definitely. And Flight Knight, former Genesis guy, love Flight Knight, love Psycho, love those guys, but they got their work cut out for them as Brittany the Blade, Jolly Rogers, Freckley, Ginja over there. It's going to be a good one. That one's coming up in just a few minutes, so make sure you guys stick around. If you guys haven't already, go make sure you guys follow the Twitch channel. We're pushing closer to 2,000 followers, which is always hype. Also, make sure you guys check out the Discord. We're also pushing 2,000 members in the Discord as well. So if you guys aren't already, go check out the Discord. Go get in there. Go follow the channel. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes as we have our last matchup of the night, Gorgons taking on Vandals. We will see you guys in a couple minutes.
We buried the hatchet right into my back end. Look what you've done. The last one is laughing, the last one is standing, is the one with the gun. And I thought you were different, but you kept a knife hidden in your silver tongue. You buried the hatchet right into my back end. Now I'm slowly building up a throne from all the sticks and stones that you have thrown. But all your words still haunt me like a ghost, yeah. How do you sleep at night, night, night? You made your bed and lie. 'Cause you cut me cursive on where everyone baby, look what you've done. Oh, how do you sleep at night, night, night?
We're like a fox and a rabbit. You're acting like Alice. You're your proverbial damage. I'm broken and branded, and now I'm slowly building up a throne from all the sticks and stones that you have thrown. But all your words still haunt me like a ghost. Yeah. How do you sleep at night, night, night? You made your bed at night, night, night. 'Cause you cut me a cursive if I were everywhere, baby. Look what you've done. Oh, how do you sleep at night, night, night? When you never felt love on a silver spoon. You learn to look it up knives. You do, you do. When you never felt love on a silver spoon. You learn to look it up knives. You do, you do. How do you sleep at night, night, night? You made your bed at night, night, night. 'Cause you cut me a cursive, I wear everywhere, baby. Look what you've done. Oh, how do you sleep at night, night, night? Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Heaven knows. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where we have Game 3 in the Novice Division. We have Gorgons going against Vandal. You just saw me last series, but you know, between the break, I got a little bit of a sniffle, so I had to call in my good friend, Dr. Waffles, to cheer me up. Welcome, Dr. Waffles.
I got you, man. I got you. How's it going?
Good, how about you?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. I played a series earlier, reverse sweep. I won't focus on it too much. Yeah, tonight we got Vandals versus Gorgons in the Novice League. Vandals are running 8-2 right now, dominating their own conference, the Mountain Western Conference, versus Gorgons, who are 2-8, who are on the bottom of their Atlantic Eastern Conference. For Vandals, we've got a Freckly Ginja. We've got Jolly Rogers. We've got Brindy the Blade. And it's the Phantom Bro to round that all up. And for Gorgons, we've got Psychonautic. We've got Flight Knight. We've got Draco. And we've got K-Man. So for Vandals, Freckly Ginja, okay, is number 1 in assists per game so far in the Novice League. And we've also got Jolly Rogers, who is top 5 in goals per game in the Novice League. So Vandals are looking good today, Iro.
Vandals are looking good. However, Gorgons, this roster was actually Ninjas a few weeks back until they made an entire trade. You know, Vandals, they haven't lost a single game since week 1. They lost their first 2 games, and then they've been undefeated ever since. However, this Gorgons roster, after looking at it, it's scary. I've played them before, and you cannot count this team out, especially against any other Novice League. After the first game that they played together, they showed that they had the chemistry that they needed to win almost any game. And it's scary to see them play. Can they keep that chemistry today against the Vandals, or will Vandals take over? What are your predictions, Waffles?
Well, I do know K-Man. I've met him personally myself. Great dude. And I know that he's skilled beyond what his MMR says, to be fair. So that's for sure. You know, as a prediction, you know, first look, I don't know the Novice League super well. So first look, you know, if it's pretty close, it's kind of hard to just go by the stats, right? You can't just look at the stats and say this team's going to win, especially in a Novice League. But the stats I'm looking at right now, okay, Vandals 8-2, haven't lost since the first week, versus Gorgons, who are 2-8, right? A Freckly Ginja being number 1 in assists, Jolly being top 5 in goals. And I took a look through the stats for Gorgons, and you know, I didn't find them on anything that was top 10 or better. And so, you know, I think just because of stats alone, I think I'm going to have to go with Vandals tonight.
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to go off of stats. I'm going to go off of experience. I've seen this Vandals team play. I've seen all their players play. I don't know if they're going to have what it takes to take down Gorgons. Psychonautic, Flight Knight, and Draco have been a mean trio. It doesn't look like they're going to have Draco today, but they have K-Man, who is still a great filler. I feel like Gorgons are going to take it, and if it's going to be close, that's all I'm going to say.
Well, hopefully it is. We love some good content. Going for the upset. That would be something else, absolutely. And it looks like we're having a request to reset the lobby here. So I think we're going to leave out of this one and join right back up, it looks like. We had most of the players leave. Until then, Iro, since you're in the Novice League, right? Who do you think out of all these players are going to show up the most tonight? Who do you think is going to carry to a win? Do you think anyone's going to carry to a win tonight?
I feel like with Vandals, if they get the win, that's going to be a team effort. Because again, you look at Freckley, he has the most assists, teaming up with Jolly with top 5 in goals. That's definitely had to play. Like, there's no coincidence in that. That's definitely had to play a part in each other's play style. Gorgons, on the other hand, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of the same thing. They're going to have to pick up a little bit without Draco, but it's not going to be much that they have to pick up after.
That's fair, especially with K-Man in the mix there. Absolutely. And we've got our beloved Psychonautics there as well. I was looking at some of the stats again because I don't know the Novice League very well, so I was just looking at stats. So I wrote top 5 in goals per game for Jolly. I wrote that as a note. What I didn't write was the 4 or 5 other stats that Jolly was top 10 or better on. And that's not even counting the totals. I'm only going by per game. And so I think, and knowing Jolly pretty well myself, playing with him, used to play with him a lot in the Sloth crew. I really think that if Vandals come through, it's gonna have to be a lot of Jolly being aggressive. I know that Jolly loves his demos for sure. It's going to be a lot of Jolly disrupting Gorgons and putting those final ones away from passes from Freckley and Brindy, who was also top 10 in assists. So
I've got a little bit of a counter for that.
Okay.
Flight Night.
Okay.
Flight Night, his biggest thing is just interrupting the play. If he is able to get, say, 30 boost, he can use that boost to demo all three defenders. He's just that guy. I've seen it before. He's done it to me before. He's just that guy.
Uh-huh.
But can he keep up, especially with the not disappearance, but with the sub up of K-Man over Draco? Will he have to lay that role aside, or will he be able to continue this role as a menace, you could say?
Absolutely. We've got physical players on either side, and here we go. We've got all 6 of our players in today. So as we hop onto the field, I'll hand it right over to you, Iro.
Alrighty, sounds good. Game 1. Here we go. Nice little kickoff going into Vandal's favor. Jolly Rogers get a nice little touch off of the corner. Quickly denied by K-Man. Freckley trying to get a 50, but K-Man's just too strong. Flight Night with the follow-up, but unfortunately both he and Jolly miss. But Psycho there for a quick pickup. Jolly just tells Flight Night to get out of his way, but unfortunately K-Man keeps up with the ball. Psycho is going to try to counter Freckley off the wall, which he does succeed to get the ball to Flight Night. Flight Night out to the mid, back to Psycho. Psycho over to K-Man, but denied by Freckley Ginja. A shot opportunity, but quickly denied yet again. Another shot opportunity, but shut down by Psychonautic. What do you think? What do you think is going to go down, especially after this first minute?
Mr. At first look, what I'm seeing is a whole lot of boost to the Vandals. Exactly that. They were taking boost. They got a couple bumps, throwing the ball off the backboard, which is hard to handle at this league. And eventually it just became too much for Gorgons, and Jolly puts him up 1 to start us off a minute in.
Absolutely. We need to see more from the Gorgons on the Vandals' half. Can we see that after this first goal, as we're seeing already? But, the miss! The miss from multiple players. Flight Night tries to come back around to see if he can keep the ball in, but the ball goes right back to Psycho, who pops it up for K-Man. Who gets it mid, but quickly shut down. Psychonautic will try to shut down that big clear, but only hits it parallel to him. Flight Night on the attack. Brindy will try to shut him down. As I am currently lagging, can you please take over?
Absolutely. We've got Flight Night controlling in the Gorgon's corner. Touching it to himself up on the wall. Tries to get a big touch out of it, but can't quite. Psycho will follow it up, put it on net. Brindy with the easy clear there. Back into the Gorgon's corner. Let's see if Flight can handle this one. He can't yet. Brindy puts it middle. Freckly Ginja there with the shot, and he can finish.
I came back. My internet came back for this goal right here, and I feel like
Perfect.
there was a reason. Freckly just was able to get it right over the two defenders. I believe it was K-Man with the original miss. The Gorgons can't let that one sit on their shoulders. They have to go to the next. As it was a nice little kickoff straight to Jolly Rogers. Tries to get the dunk, but the ball was played to the opposite side. Psychonautic off the wall, straight to Brindy, opposite team. Flight Knight tries to get another 50, but the ball just stays on the Gorgons' half. Shot off the crossbar, follow up by Jolly Rogers. Perfect play right there.
Absolutely. And you know what I saw once more is the Gorgons low on boost. One of them had 0, one of them only had about 30, and the one who had full was busy grabbing it. So there we have Vandals controlling boost like absolute menaces 2 minutes into this match.
The second that Gorgons are able to get a hold of their boost, they can bring it back, but they just can't. It's so flustering, I guess you could say, as K-Man tries to take it all by himself off the ceiling, but quickly denied by Brindy as the ball falls back into Psycho. Up to K-Man, off the back wall, shot from Flight Knight, quickly shut down by the Vandals' defense. Flight Knight will try to take it back to Psychonautic, but just a little too far. Luckily, K-Man will be there to pick it up, but quickly dunked by Jolly Rogers on the side with a shot, but denied by Flight Knight. Flight Knight's going to try to take it up into the air. A little bump mishap as the ball falls straight into Brindy. K-Man takes it back up to the orange half. Tries to get it mid, but unfortunately nobody's prepared for the shot. Psychonautic's just barely able to keep the ball in his possession as he flicks it off the wall and to a 50. Bounces straight into the air. Pop for K-Man, and he just takes advantage of it. Nobody else was there.
Looks like we had an unfortunate 50 in the midfield for Vandals, and K-Man was the only one that could read it in time. Caught Brindy out as he was trying to go for it as well. Now we've got Gorgons, 1 on the board finally. Let's see if they can come back with 2 minutes left.
Absolutely. Gorgons are going to try to take this ball, but Brindy is continuously shutting this team down. Brindy has honestly been such, as we didn't talk about him in the beginning, but Brindy has been such a big play in this Vandals roster, especially in Game 1. Will he continue this? No one knows. It's just all up to him. It was a banger of a shot by Brindy, yet again, but shut down by Flight Knight as Brindy takes revenge just a little bit to try to get Flight Knight out of the play. Flight Knight gets the perfect spawn, bangs it straight up, follows it. Nice little touch. An unfortunate miss by Jinja, but Psycho just could not get to the ball as K-Man comes around the corner and dimes it up.
There goes K-Man again. It looks like just outspeeding everyone else in the lobby. He's able to read that poor touch off of the corner there and slots it right where he needs to put him up. Not up. Put another goal on the board, and now they're only down by 1 with a minute left in the match. This is doable here, Iro.
You know what K-Man brought to the table? His extra Chef Boyardee. He is ready. He just ate. He is well fed, and he is ready to come back into this game. As a quick little demo from Freckly Jinja onto Flight Knight, doesn't matter. K-Man still wants the ball out of his half. That was a beautiful pinch. K-Man off the other defender as Flight Knight will try to center this for his teammate, but a unfortunate little mishap by Psychonautic. K-Man, from his half, will try to get the ball to the Vandals' half, as the Vandals will play it off the Gorgons' backboard. Psycho, following this ball up, but quickly denied. Flight Knight will try to go again, but I believe he got faked out by Psychonautic. The ball's bouncing around in the Vandals' half, as somebody's trying to take control of it, but there's just too much chaos going on. Brindy finally with the ball on his car, but quickly thrown away. Psychonautic tries to get a pass and a nice little read. I believe that was a read by the opposite team, I think.
Looks like Psycho just went for the absolute clanger to try to put it mid, and the mistouch on the Vandals goal line ties us up with only 13 seconds left.
Now, let's be real here. Was that a mistouch, or was that Psychonautic using his mind control powers just to force the opposing team to put the ball in the net for him?
I felt it from here. I almost own gold, and I'm not even playing.
A quick little counterattack by Vandal. See if they can get anything going. Not on target, as it will be quickly shut down just as fast as the ball got to the Gorgons' half. Nice little kickoff, going straight back to Psychonautic, but Brindy gets a nice little 50, never leaves the play. Jolly Rogers with a nice little shot. Well, is it over K-Man? No. He will play it to his corner. Brindy will get a nice 50 off of him. Psychonautic try to go for the challenge, but unfortunately not fast enough. Flight Knight trying to get this ball out of his half. Unfortunately cannot get that touch. Jolly is just getting dunks after dunks. Brindy with the demo, opening up the net. Is anyone back? Oh, barely off target as Flight Knight's there to get a clear, but was it the right clear?
Dangerous.
It's staying in the Vandals' half, in the Vandals' possession, but K-Man shuts it down so quick. He just knows exactly what he has to do. Another shot on target by Brindy, but shut down again by Psychonautic. They are just racking up the points from defense, Waffles.
Oh my, so many shots now that I'm seeing coming out from Vandals. I'm looking at 10 shots compared to Gorgon's 8, and I'm pretty sure 3 or 4 of them have come in just the last minute. So Vandals definitely have a lot of pressure going here. And I'm also seeing Gorgons with a little bit of low boost here. We'll see if they can handle this off the backboard, and they can. Looks like Gorgons are going to have to work their way out of their half here very quickly, Iro.
To be honest, we wanna call this pressure. A lot of Vandal shots have been going close to the target, but they haven't been going in because of Gorgons having few saves. That was until K-Man came up with an extra 2, or at least Gorgons, I wasn't sure exactly who it was, came up with an extra 2 saves as we get a nice shot from Jinja. Just a nice little pop into the upper 90 corner.
And just as we were talking about the Gorgons defense, there's a little nick in the armor there, and Vandals are able to come through with that nice backboard read to put them up 1-0 in the series.
They all just got caught stuck on the ground. I don't know if they had no boost, or I don't know if they thought it was going off crossbar or what, but somebody has to make an attempt, even at least just an attempt to get to that ball. I
absolutely agree with you. That's a tough one at the novice level, though, especially if it's just thrown full bore torpedo ball at the backboard. That's a hard one to handle for the novice guys, unless they've got a good amount of boost and about half a second to prepare for it. But that was a good play from Vandals. Throw it right off the backboard there. They know it's tough to deal with, especially when you don't have someone kind of set on the backboard already. So Vandals up 1-0 in the series. Let's see if they can keep this momentum, Ira.
Coming into Game 2 on Urban Central. Can Gorgons bring it back? Again, that was not... At first, it wasn't a close game until it became a close game. Gorgons managed to find their footing, but it unfortunately was a little too late. Can they keep that same footing going into Game 2? Let's find out as Jinja off the wall, straight to Jolly Rogers. Nice little shot in the upper 90, but shut down by Psychonautic. Ball still in the green half as Brindy tries to go for the shot, but Flight Knight gets the clear. Little pass back from Jolly, but K-Man is going to take full advantage of that. But Jinja shuts him down in the corner. Psychonautic with a nice 50 straight on target, but 2 Vandal players right there to receive the ball. All of Gorgons are there as K-Man gets the clear, but it doesn't matter as Vandal shuts them down. The Gorgons going to come back into it. Nice little shot by Flight Knight. Still keeping pressure. K-Man tries to get the read, but unfortunately just jumps a little too far forward. Nice little demo to make sure that there's no shot by K-Man. He's going to take his time here, but Jolly Rogers will not give him any more room to breathe. Flight Knight is going to try to take this ball out of his half, but again, quickly shut down. This defense has... Well, I'm sorry, not the defense, but this midfield play by Vandals is just killing Gorgons right now.
Absolutely. They're shutting them down as soon as they get any room to try to make a play. They're trying to control that midfield boost, which is very important. If you can keep that midfield boost, you can keep the pressure on, and eventually it'll just become too much, because even if you've got those 2 boosts over on your team corner, the other team's got the rest of the 4 to play around with, and they can take as they please. So midfield pressure here from Vandals absolutely piling up.
Nice little shot attempt by K-Man, quickly shut down by Jolly Rogers. Another shot attempt from Flight Knight, but just not enough not enough angle right behind him. Quick little bump from behind from K-Man onto Flight Knight as Gorgon's rushing to get back. Quick little mishap from Brindy as Psychonautic with the ball, but quickly shut down by Jolly Rogers. Brindy with the ball on his car. Plenty of time, plenty of room. He's going to try to do something. Psychonautic gets a nice little touch, but unfortunately it doesn't do too much for the Gorgons. Ball bounced back mid. K-Man will try to put this ball on the Vandals' half, but quickly shut down by Jinja. Flight Knight's going to try to take control, but shut down yet again. Psychonautic with the ball now. Tries to get a 50 out of his half, but Jolly Rogers, his 50s with the Merc have just been insane right now.
Jolly and that Merc definitely do work, that's for sure. Whether it's getting on those 50s or putting a nose straight into your car to get you out of the game, Jolly's Merc definitely does work. It rhymes, so you know it's true.
That's true. But did you just see that voodoo magic right there on the post from the Gorgon's half?
That was very close. That was very close.
I thought it was going to be an own goal, and then again, Psychonautic used his mind control powers. Quickly. Oh, he wanted it, but he didn't get the Psycho. The Psycho would have been cooler. Let's be honest here. As Brindy pops it back into the mid, shut down, but Jinja is back yet again. Jolly Rogers cut a little bit out of position, but Brindy will pick up for him. Off the side wall. Can he beat the defender? No! Quickly shut down. K-Man will try to get a clear, but it was a mishap as a little double commit, leaving Flight Knight all by himself, but he does take care of it. Psychonautic grabs the corner, unfortunately messes up Flight Knight mid, but K-Man denies yet again another shot, leaving us still at 0 apiece.
We are at 0 goals apiece with 1 minute
off
left.
The bat.
And you know what I'm seeing, Iro, is so many shots, yet so many saves. Vandals are putting on shot after shot, but Gorgons are coming through with the goal line defense this game. They are holding up a brick wall in front of Vandals, and they will not let it down. They're allowing the pressure to just fuel them.
If we want to look at the stats right now, it's kind of crazy how each player on the Gorgons has exactly 1 shot, while each player on the Vandals have exactly 1 save. Showing that, Gorgons haven't really been getting a lot of offense this game, and whenever they do, it just hasn't been, the best. Which is like the only way you can put it, as Vandals is going to try to go again with another counterattack, the 20th one this game. Up the wall, shut down by K-Man. Can K-Man take it? Oh, what the?
Oh my!
What the? Oh my goodness! That would have been nuts. I would have round of applause. Oh, the demo from Jolly, but just not anyone there for the shot as we go into overtime yet again. Nice little 50 off kickoff. Little back pass from Jolly Rogers. At least it was a back pass attempt. Freckly Ginger tried to get the ball, but quickly missed as the ball was popped over him. Brindy with the ball. Tries to get past all 3 of Gorgon's defenders, but they're just making a brick wall, making sure that nobody can get past him, as Flight Knight's going to bang this ball upfield, but he has nobody to bang the ball to. K-Man tries to get the 50, but it goes straight towards their net. Luckily, Psycho was there to deny the shot. Freckly Jinja off the side wall yet again, but cannot hit the double. Jolly Rogers keeps the ball in the green half. Brindy does the same thing off the backboard. Gorgon's trying to get a read. K-Man does. Will this ball bounce down? No, it will be denied. This is crazy. The fact that last game was 4-3 in overtime, and this game is 0-0 in overtime.
The teams are definitely settling in here. The defense wasn't really there for either team last game. They were both just throwing the ball off the backboard and trying to make it awkward for them, trying to make them use their boost, and it was working. But now we've got some control. It looks like the teams have settled in, so we're able to handle those awkward touches off the crossbar like what just happened. And so I think it's definitely a great show here, and the teams are settled in and raring to go from here on.
each team, well, I don't want to say each team, but Vandals are getting so many chances, but they're just not fast enough to capitalize because at least one Gorgon defender is always going to be there now. They've definitely picked up the pace from last game. They're definitely showing that they're not out of it, even though it's only game 2, and they still want this win, as they are keeping this ball no matter what in the Vandals half until Freckly Jinja just quickly gets it out of his half, wants his team to breathe. Oh, and a mistouch or a whiff. It's getting chaotic right now on the green half. They need to settle themselves down. That's all they need to do right now. Once they get settled down, they start to breathe. We can get a nice little reset, just like what happened right there. Everybody left the ball alone. They just needed a little reset, as Vandals is going to try to get a nice little 50. Brindy just could not, but Jolly Ranchers is going to make sure the balls stay in their half. But wait, there's only one player back, but Gorgons could not capitalize. They got all up in their own faces. There's a nice little shot into the bottom left, not there, but Brindy is there for the finish.
Let's see what happened here. Yep, we've got Vandals. I've noticed a trend here, Iro. Vandals banging the ball off the backboard over and over and over again, and forcing Gargoyles to use their boost to handle these awkward balls off the crossbar and off the post, which you really can't leave alone. There's going to be someone there from Vandals charging it every time, and so they're leaving Gorgons in these awkward positions where they have to either get a good clear on the ball or get it out to their corner, and by then either Jolly or Freckly have already been out there stealing their boost.
I'm sorry, for a second I thought you called the Gorgons team Gargoyles.
No, absolutely no. That's not something I would do. No, absolutely not.
But you know what? It's something that I would do. So I feel like we should keep the team name Gargoyles against Vandals. I feel like that's going to make it a little bit more interesting. You know, Gargoyles down 2 in the series. Can they bring it back? Can they get a reverse sweep for the stream? Or will Vandals perfect sweep the Gargoyles?
It's going to be a tough one.
Nice little kickoff in Brindy's favor. He's going to try to take the ball along the wall. Rhymes. Flight Knight continues with the ball, but quickly shut down by a Freckly Ginja. Jinja tries to go again. I don't know which to call him, Ginja or Jinja, but either way, they both rhyme. They both mean the same thing. Nice little hit out the mid, but K-Man cannot capitalize. I am starting to lag again, but apologies. Would you mind taking over?
Absolutely. I think we're gonna either go with Ginja or Jinja. I think it's probably a made up word, so I don't know if it matters. Speaking of Ginja, we've got him past mid to Jolly with the attempted shot, but shut down in the midfield. Flight pounding it off the Vandals' backboard, came in with a soft touch, but Ginja's able to get there, get it off his backboard, and the challenge onto K-Man. Now we've got a whole bunch of chaos over here in the midfield. Let's see if Vandals can finish this. Flight is able to clear it out mid. And he's still got possession, but not enough boost. Brindy shuts it down. And Jolly with the clear, but Psycho right back at him. Ginja is able to clear that out. Brindy has an open goal. Where were the Gorgons there?
The Gargoyles were just
The Gargoyles.
They were all on the wrong half of the field. They tried to get too aggressive with it, and it didn't work out.
They definitely got caught lacking there. A little bit too much offense and not enough defense, Iro.
Absolutely, as the ball goes straight into Jinja as Psycho gets a nice little read. The mind control, he controlled the post yet again to make sure that the ball didn't go into his own net. I don't know how he does it, but he's been doing it for so long now. As
I believe it.
Brindy, nice little shot, quickly denied by Flight Knight. Jolly's going to keep this ball in, but nobody from Vandal's half is going to be able to counter. K-Man with the ball off the wall. Unfortunate little miss. Psycho going to keep this ball in Vandal's possession. Well, in Vandal's half, I should say. Nice little pogo off the wall. Looked like it was supposed to be a pinch, but Psycho went moving more than the ball. Happens to the best of us. Again, it's novice. Can't forget that. Brindy tries to get the shot, but he pulls another novice moment as Psychonautic will bang the ball to the other half. Fight Night off the wall, trying to get his teammate K-Man. Oh, they could not connect together, leaving this game at 0-1 as gargoyles, whatever we want to call them now, are trying to get back into this game.
It's a tough one, and just like every other game, I'm seeing at least twice the amount of shots coming out from Vandals. They just keep peppering that backboard, keep peppering the post, and eventually it just goes in for them. There's only so much defense you can play in a row without breaking. It's just going to happen at some point, Iro.
I couldn't agree more. A lot of it has been this midfield play that Vandals have been able to keep up almost the entire time. This game, I honestly want to say that it looks closer as a nice little pinch goes straight on target, but Brindy will say no. It looks closer this game if the Gargoyles could just connect with the ball. That's been their only mishap right now, as Jinja tries to get a nice little pass to his teammate, and Brindy just bangs the ball.
Yeah, it's not looking promising here, Iro. The Gargoyles are doing a little bit better of a job keeping up with shots, and they're having a few saves. And they're having little flashes of brilliance on offense where they get a pinch off the wall or something, and it's set up to score. But you have Vandals who are controlling the midfield so much that they're able to have those one, sometimes even two players in reserve with a good amount of boost who can challenge that on the backboard or on their own goal line almost immediately. So even if you have a good setup from the Gargoyles, they just can't make anything of it because there's almost always a Vandals player back there with full boost.
Couldn't have said it better myself, especially the Gargoyles part. It just sounded so crisp coming from your mouth, I'm not even going to lie. As a nice little demo from Brindy, as the ball goes right back to his teammate. The ball goes straight to Brindy again, tries to get a nice little redirect, but didn't have the power. Straight into the Gargoyles' hands as Jolly Rogers shuts them down, but unfortunately, his shot is not on target. Jinja, from his own half, already jumped in the air after he got the boost, got that dunk, but only one player back. But it doesn't matter. Jolly Rogers is going to bang the ball. Nice little demo from Brindy. K-Man has to get a touch, which he does, but it goes straight to Jinja. He's going to try to keep possession of this, but he does not get the second touch. Flight Knight trying to bring his team a fresh breath of air, but he just can't get the shot. K-Man going to take his time with this one as he's shut down by Jinja. Can Gargoyles get the ball out of their half in 17 seconds and get at least one goal and try to keep the ball up after the 0-second marker as we hit 10 seconds for the perfect sweep for the Vandals? 3, 2, 1, and this game is over whenever the ball hits the ground. But it was a clean sweep from Vandals. Unfortunately, the Gargoyles could not do anything. Well, they did their best. It was actually a lot closer. You can look at the score, say reverse sweep. I'll look at the score and say barely.
The scores, the goals were close. I will agree with you there. I don't agree that the game itself was close, though. I think that Vandals came out here with control. They came out here with some confidence. They were controlling that midfield boost. They were shooting at least 2, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on which game, times as much as the Gorgons. And I think that even though the goals and, on paper, it may have seemed close, I think Vandals had control of it the entire time.
A lot of it, the Gargoyles were able to keep up on defense. It's just they had one little mishap or something. Somebody got demoed, somebody got bumped, they lost their boost. That was the only reason. If it wasn't for that, the midfield pressure from Vandals honestly just kept the ball on the Gargoyles' half.
Absolutely.
It really didn't do much. But again, Vandals, they did look like the stronger team, and they proved that they were the stronger team as they get the 3-0 sweep. We can get a couple more brooms out, especially after last game's sweep.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Vandals moving to 9-2 on the season, still dominating their Mountain Western Conference. Gorgons, moving to 2-9. They had flashes of brilliance. Came in subbing up. It's always difficult when you have a sub in. Came in, did really great on that first game. And they had some good team plays and stuff, but Vandals pulls out in the end. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, pretty sure that's it from me. You have anything to add?
I think I've already said my piece. Stats never lie. How about that? Stats never lie.
Most of the time. We'll say most of the time.
Most of the time. Absolutely.
This instant, they did not lie.
No, they did not lie.
I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out to watch Game 3 with your favorite casting duo, Iro and Dr. Waffles. Hope you all had a great time, just as much as fun as we did, and we will see you all Wednesday.
See ya.